Right, welcome back to the channel. As discussed in the last episode, the next couple of episodes we're going to be concentrating on Mikuni BS34 Carbs. These are out of my Z1000, off the Z1000J 2 engine that's sitting behind me. As I briefly showed you in the last episode, they are in a bit of a state. They need completely stripping down, cleaning. I may paint the actual bodies and polish the caps and the float bowls. Also got a problem with the choke bar where it's actually bent, so I don't know if that's savable or not, but we'll basically strip everything apart. We'll take it in and take it slowly, just work through it so it's easy to follow. But that's going to be the aim of the next few episodes, is to get these stripped down, cleaned, put them through the ultrasonic cleaner, refurb them back up and get them ready so they can go back in the mock-up engine at the moment. So let's get cracking. So as I said, Mikuni BS34s fit quite a range of bikes. I'll leave a list up now for the bikes they fit. As you can see in the list, there's obviously XS650, XS750, which will only use either 2 or 3. Most of it's 4, but say the carbs are exactly the same when they're in their individual state. I say the problem with the slides, they don't really slide that well. When you get down to a certain point, you can see a bigger gap there. But we'll take it all apart. I had started to sort of play with cleaning these up, but that's the actual surface. So I'll get set up, get some screwdrivers out, and we'll start taking these apart, and I'll lay them all out in their respective carbs. So as it sits in the bike, I'll take that as number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right, so very basic flathead Phillips and a small screwdriver, because you've got jets in there with springs. So what I'll probably do, we'll strip all the top ones, turn it upside down. I'll probably just take apart the first one, and then I'll take the rest off camera, because it is exactly the same. Some of the screws, actually these are the better screws, these are newer, but some of them, as you can see, they're old. I need to replace them. I should have spares. Remember to hold this down because it is actually sprung loaded from underneath. And there we go. There's the spring. Again, keep everything together. Have a look at the quality of the diaphragms as well. Hopefully be no splits. If not, I'll have to replace them. So that's the first one out. I'm just going to lay everything out as it comes out from each carb. And then we do exactly the same for the next 3. did pre-soak a lot of the screws because these carbs have been sitting for quite some time. Yeah, all these needs cleaning up. As you can see, the state of the insides. But like I say, once they've been stripped into individuals, I can run them through the ultrasonic. Right, let me just get these next two off, and then we'll flip them over and take the bottoms out, do all the float bowls. So that's all the tops out. Now I can flip them over. Again, this will be number one, which corresponds with this one. So that's the first one. Out the main jet. Pin that holds the float. Again, I just use the float bowl to put everything in. Obviously all the jets are going to be replaced. There come the float. Right, on these ones, some of these are actually screwed in on some carbs, but these are push fit, so it has this bracket and screw to hold it actually in place, and the needle jet sitting in the middle. So that's the bracket and the screw. And carefully with a pair of pliers. That will come out. So these will all be cleaned. And there's the needle jet and the holder. So it's looking quite bad around there. Then the old gasket, that'll be replaced. So that's the first one done of the base. Let's just repeat the process for the other three. So I'll get that done and I'll bring you back for the next stage. Right, so that's all the float bowls out and all the parts in. So they are looking pretty mucky. Right, so the next thing is these jets. That should be a small screwdriver. That's the jet and the spring. Again, they'll be replaced, but for now I'll just leave them in the float bowl. Same with the others. Make sure you actually get the spring as well. Yeah, so that one's come out. The spring is still in there. There we go. So again, pop them into the float bowl so you know where everything is. Alright, so all that's left is this bracket, and the actual choke bar. Alright, so for the actual choke bar, you can't really see it, but just in there is a small little circlip. There's one in each one. That has to be removed from each before you can actually slide out this whole mechanism. There we go. That is literally located in there. Just in there is that little circlip, and there's one in each. So again, when that comes out, I'll lay that next to the actual carb it's from. Right, so let me remove the other three, and then we can pull this choke lever out, which I know is bent. Right, so they're all removed. I've actually put them, so they are quite small, so like I say, they're in there, there, there and there. So now you should be able to ease the choke bar back. And that releases off the plunger. So again, into the float bowl for now. Yeah, this bar is definitely bent. Right, that's the other thing you have to remember, is as you're sliding them back, they will get caught in these grooves. So you just need to move them over. and that should actually release it. There's the second one. Third one. And the last one. And yeah, as you can see, that's probably a better view. You can see the bend. Right about there. So I'll clean it up so you can see it there more. Hopefully I can straighten it. If not, I'll look for a recon one, second hand. Right, so next, again upside down, take out these screws, again pre-soaked, and that will release this bar. Again, I'll leave each screw with the corresponding carb. That's the last one, and then off comes the bar. Again, that all needs to be cleaned up. So that's most of the main components off. So I've just got this bar. Again, screws are pre-soaked. So as soon as this bar is off, we should be able to then split the carburetors. So let me get this rest of these screws out and I'll bring you back. Okay, so that's that bar out. So that's what we're looking at. Now we're going to separate the carburetors. So literally from here, it is literally a joiner in the main T-piece, and then there's another joiner there. So it should come apart quite simply. So let's split them into two. There's the main T-piece into two carbs. There's the other joiner. And the same. You can see the joiner in there. Right, so the next thing is the actual choke plunger. So these are actually 14mm. So there's the plungers. They're actually sitting there. So that's the first one, and again exactly the same. And the next one. Third one. And that's the last one. So very simple to take apart. Easier if you lay them all out. So that's what you should be left with. The only thing I haven't taken off so far are these covers. It's a diaphragm, rubber diaphragm inside each one. That is the only part I haven't soaked so far, because the screws are really tight, so I need to soak them. But that is a set of BS34 Mikunis broken down and basically ready to start cleaning. So I hope that was helpful. As I say, I'll do it step by step, just break them down. I learn as I go. I'm no expert on these. It's just following simple procedures, obviously checking the manual, looking at feature pictures, and literally, well, apart from a pair of pliers obviously to help get the float needle bowls out, 14mm spanner, a Phillips, a flathead and a small flathead, and that's all it took to actually break these down into as you see them on the bench. Like I say, next episode, well, I would have soaked these screws and got them off, and we can take that apart, and then I'll be going into the ultrasonic cleaner and basically starting to clean everything I can get in there. I will. I mean, obviously that could be an issue with the bend in it, unless I can straighten it. So it seems to bend about there, or I'll look for a straighter second-hand one, but we'll see how that goes. So join me again in the next episode when we continue the strip down cleaning, and then we can obviously later on get into the rebuild of the BS34 Mikunis. There are links to other videos at the end of the video, and as always, appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Join me again next time. Cheers. Bye.